Wednesday, April 5th, Veda Day 5, and it's been a good couple of 5 days with all of you guys, and there are a ton of you, so I'm looking forward to going back and watching a lot of your videos. I've seen a lot of them, but I look forward to watching even more. So I don't know about you, but I've started watching vlogs the same way that I used to listen to podcasts. But lately I've been getting back into the podcast world, just something to listen to while I'm driving to work or going home from work or out at lunch or just whatever I might be doing out. And there are two that I have just really become enamored with. The first podcast is Missing Richard Simmons. Now, if you haven't heard of it, which if you haven't heard of it yet, you're living under a rock, it's essentially a guy that just became infatuated with the disappearance of Richard Simmons. He's not actually a missing person. He just got out of the public spotlight and has stayed that way for at least the last 3 years. And it's absolutely fascinating because the more you think about it and you hear the story play out, Richard Simmons was everywhere. He was on the David Letterman show for no apparent reason, and then you'd see him on Conan for no apparent reason, and all of a sudden he'd be on the cover of a newspaper or a magazine, and you just could not escape Richard Simmons. And then one day he just stopped all of it. No explanation, didn't contact anybody saying, hey, listen, I'm okay, but I just need to step out. No retirement, nothing like that. He literally just disappeared and didn't contact anyone. So if you haven't heard Missing Richard Simmons, I'll post a link to the podcast below, but that's definitely one to check out. They're 30 minutes each, 6 episodes, totally worth investing your time in. The second podcast I have really mixed feelings about, and it's a podcast called S-Town. S-Town is by the makers of Serial and This American Life on NPR, and the parts of S-Town that I love, I really love. But the parts of S-Town that I find are boring are extremely boring. I'm talking, I feel like I wasted my time when I get to the end of that episode. All of my friends who finished it said stick with it, it gets crazier, and I've seen a lot of the major twists and turns already, I think I'm about halfway through it. I'm really torn, but it's definitely one that I would recommend because the story is fascinating. I just feel like they're taking a long time to get there, and I know that there's going to be like something crazy happen by the end, but yeah, I wish they would just hurry up and get there. Either that or I know it's coming, so I'm becoming impatient, and that's very possible. And I just want to hear how it plays out. So I'm going to stick with that one, but I'll also post a link to S-Town in the link below. Anyway, let me know in the comment section what podcast you are listening to, and until next time, we'll see ya.